Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com.
So today we are going to talk about a little bit regarding 5 real estate markets that you haven't heard yet, most likely. And if you do, well, good for you. You have doing your homework. However, these markets are not necessarily the best markets in order to invest in real estate or do a lifestyle investing or speculating and so on and so on. Just markets in order just to mention it, to throw it, and just do it for food for thought. And by the way, I'm going to mention these markets without any specific order. So number 5, we have Tucacas, that is on the state of Falcón in Venezuela. This region of Venezuela is kind of interesting. It's next to the Carabobo state. So it's very close to one of the biggest cities in Venezuela, Valencia, one of the most important cities in the country, both regarding economics and population and so on. Close to Valencia and close to Tucacas is actually Puerto Cabello, another market that I mentioned on a previous video. Very interesting market, strategic market, that of course is a port, one of the most important shipping ports within Venezuela. And very close is on the neighboring state in Falcón, we have Tucacas. That is mostly a vacation hotspot. I mean, it's not regarding economics, it's very important, Tucacas, but it's very actually quite interesting place. Is of course within the Morrocoy National Park. Is this bunch of islands and islets that are a national park. Is used mostly, most people go over there in order to do tourism. Beautiful white sand beaches. I mean, looks like a movie or something. Looks, every time that I see a video about regarding Tucacas or something, it looks like, I mean, I'm watching Avatar or something like that. I mean, something like a science fiction thing. So it's a very interesting market. The market is not big. Actually, most of the people that own property over there, at least the nice properties, are usually people that live in Caracas or Valencia, and this is just a weekend pied-à-terre, a weekend property, you go for vacation and so on. So not a great deal regarding that, but I mean, there are a bunch of nice properties over there, but most likely tourism. The upside over there, I mean, is there is an upside. Now, it's risky. Yes, it's a risky proposition, especially there are other markets with a better ROI. However, a very interesting place, fun place, maybe for lifestyle, but a very interesting real estate market indeed. Number 4, we have La Guaira. Now, La Guaira is a state, Venezuela, a region of Venezuela. Is the region where you have the largest, most important international airport in the country. That's actually is very close to Caracas, so it serves as the airport of Caracas, but actually Caracas is like a half an hour drive. However, in La Guaira, you have close to the beach. That's probably one of the reasons that makes La Guaira interesting. You have a bunch of cities like Catia la Mar, like Chuspa, like Macuto, like La Sabana. And of course, these places are not as developed as you want. However, interesting real estate over there. Some people in Caracas own property over there, like a weekend property. Or some people over there, small entrepreneurs, empresarios, and business owners that live on the region. They have properties over there as well. You can find some nice hotels, by the way, in La Guaira. The beaches, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the beaches of La Guaira. Probably are on my opinion, fellow Venezuelans are going to get pissed off, especially from Caracas. For me, those are the ugliest beaches that we have in Venezuela. But many people love it. Actually, they love going to those beaches in La Guaira. So, well, very good. Then dog yourself out. Not my cup of tea. However, it's an interesting place for real estate development. And they have real estate pieces over there. I've stayed over there a few times, especially on Catia la Mar when I'm on the airport. And you see, nice hotels, nice complex, nice amenities. Now, the thing about La Guaira is not as developed as other regions of Venezuela, so not particularly fancy, not particularly pretty streets over there, but it's something interesting. Of course, in La Guaira is one of the biggest, most important shipping ports in the country, so regarding logistics, it's very important. So a very interesting place on Venezuela for the future. Number 3, we have El Tigre on Anzoátegui State, my home state, actually just a couple hours drive from where I'm right now, in Lecheria. El Tigre, according to one of my closest friends, is the ugliest place in Venezuela. The city, I'm gonna say, is not pretty, but it's kind of picturesque and it's funny. It has a bunch of conveniences, like nice hotels and nice restaurants and so on. But the city, I have to say, is not pretty at all. I mean, I know that beauty is on the eye of the beholder, but in my particular case, I'm not a big fan of El Tigre. However, I have a bunch of friends over there, so fun people. You're gonna find fun people. Also, very strategically located. So on the east side of the country in Venezuela, so a lot of logistics. Is close to many oil reservoirs, so some oil activity, the oil industry activity going on in El Tigre, a bunch of construction. So there is a lot. I mean, the economy of El Tigre is surprisingly resilient. There's a bunch of small businesses going on and so on. So a lot of movement, economic movement over there. I haven't completely figured out what happens on El Tigre, but it's a very enigmatic place of Venezuela. And the cherry on the top, it has some actually nice dating scene. Women, well, actually a bunch of beautiful women from El Tigre, actually beauty pageant contestants and so on, and international models are from El Tigre. And it's a very interesting, enigmatic place. So it's not for everybody, but maybe you can find some value over there. Number 2, we have Juan Griego. Juan Griego is on Nueva Esparta State. It's actually on Margarita Island, is on the northeast side of the island. And funny thing is, Juan Griego is the northernmost city in Venezuela. Now, Juan Griego is actually, the sad thing about Juan Griego, is one of the cities that suffer the most the economic crisis of Venezuela in the past decade. Right now, it's kind of like a ghost town. I mean, a bunch of people live over there, but the real estate prices collapse. I mean, it collapsed something like 95%. I mean, the rest of the country collapsed like 80, 70, 80%. The most resilient ones collapsed 50%. But in Juan Griego, it's like 95%. I mean, it's like an atomic bomb hit the city. Also, the bunch of issues regarding Margarita Island. Remember, Margarita Island is a service economy. It's not an oil economy or an industrial economy. So when the tourists stopped going last decade to Margarita Island, the whole economy of the island collapsed, and Juan Griego was the most affected. So probably the city, the people from Juan Griego are the people that have suffered the most the economic conditions in Venezuela. However, Juan Griego at some moment was a very important place. It had their own shipping port, so they received a lot of goods from all over the world. So Margarita, I mentioned this a bunch of times, Margarita is usually cheaper compared to the biggest mainland cities in Venezuela. Well, Margarita is cheaper, but even Juan Griego, it was even cheaper. So you can get great deals regarding goods, merchandise, stuff of that nature. Also has beautiful beaches, has nice real estate properties. The public services don't work as great. However, it's a beautiful place. Probably the biggest and the best kept secret about Venezuela. Juan Griego, a beautiful place that I have, I have a soft spot for Juan Griego. I wish the people from Juan Griego the best are probably the nicest people, soul of the earth people. They're gonna go their own way in order to help you. I wish them the best. I hope the next decade is a prosperous one for the people of Juan Griego and a very interesting place to know in Venezuela. And the number 1 unknown real estate market for you in Venezuela is Maturin on the state of Monagas. Maturin is the capital and the largest city on the Monagas state. It's one of the capitals, actually, of the east side of the country. Other cities in the east side of the country, like Puerto La Cruz and Lecheria, and Ciudad Guayana, and of course Margarita Island, still the thunder of Maturin. That's actually one of the biggest cities on the east side of the country. It's a city that, I mean, it's picturesque and not probably, I mean, it's not New York or anything like that. It's probably not the most beautiful city, but it has a bunch of amenities. The nickname of Maturin is the different city, La Ciudad Diferente. You can see it on the billboards of all over the city. The people are, they're slick, but they are good people, actually, by the way. So I mean, the people, you feel like you're in a small town, despite the fact that you are actually in a big city, for Benson and Sandals, of course. And you have a bunch of amenities. I mentioned also the oil industry is very important on the Monagas estate. It's one of the biggest regarding oil industry. So for that regard, it's very interesting. Also has a bunch of amenities close. I mean, you can take road trips and see beautiful landscapes. I love the landscapes of Monagas, by the way. I've drove many, many times. I have also a soft spot for Maturin. Great people. I have a bunch of friends over there. One of the cities that I live formerly was Maturin when I worked on the oil industry years ago. And is actually a very interesting place, and also interesting regarding real estate. You can find actually one of the nicest real estate complexes that you can see in the country is over there in Maturin. And I'm going to put the cherry on the top, a nice daily market actually. Is a fun place to be, actually, to get to know. Is, of course, you have to go open-minded regarding, I mean, it's not like you're going to Dubai or anything like that. But, I mean, it's very, I always have a great time when I go to Maturin, and very interesting regarding real estate.
Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, VenezuelaInsider.com. Thanks again, and have a nice day.